Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money Channel. The crypto market up a bit today, guys, sitting at 272.5 billion. Bitcoin dominance hasn't really budged, still at 64.7%. Right now, Bitcoin is up. Everything seems to be in the green, pretty much. So we got Bitcoin up. It's trading at 95.85, up 1.84%. Ethereum to 241, up 2.80%. And XRP trading at 0.188 cents, up 1.06%. Sea of green. And what's happening now? So Bitcoin hit a high yesterday. This is Bitcoin on the hourly. Hit a high of about 9,800, then came right back down to 96. So retracing a little bit. Could this just be a retracement before the rally continues? A possibility. Let's look at XRP here. Not as much movement, but we can see that the same type of movement occurred. XRP yesterday was trading at about just over 19 cents. And VET, let's take a look at VET. VET's interesting because it doesn't always follow the trend of the market, although here it is as well right now, trading at 0.0089 cents. It made a high of 1 cent yesterday, coming up to roughly this level of resistance up here, the 1 cent mark. We can see it had pierced that resistance before, but since then it met resistance, bouncing back down, trying to get back up there, and then as soon as it hit that 1 cent mark again, came back down. That 1 cent mark, a psychological barrier, so something to keep in mind there if you are looking to trade VET. Guys, this was brought to my attention by New Creation Capital on Twitter, at New Creation Cap. The media are now beginning to build the narrative. Here's a clip from a segment on CNBC titled "A Coming System Shock." This section talks about banks misplacing billions of dollars recently. They keep making the case for the need for ODL. And so in this clip, they talk a little bit about CLO'S here. And CLO'S, for those of you guys who do not know, collateralized loan obligations. They're a form of securitization where payments from multiple middle-sized and large business loans are pooled together and passed on to different classes of owners in various tranches. A CLO is a type of collateralized debt obligation. So keep that in mind. They talked a little bit about them in the movie The Big Short. I don't know if you guys have seen that, about the 2008-2009 financial crisis. But listen to how they're framing this narrative, okay, guys? I'm going to play you this clip here.
Much more or less riskier CLOs than CDOs?
Well, it really depends on the time. So back in 2007, 2008, CLOs weren't risky at all. We weren't worried about these businesses all defaulting simultaneously. We were worried about subprime mortgages defaulting simultaneously. Right now, in the pandemic, we have a lot of businesses that are troubled, that are very likely to default. And so today, CLOs are the more dangerous.
How much, and your article noted, as of annual filings or quarterly filings, Wells Fargo, JP Morgan, and Citibank had, if my numbers are right, about 70 to 80 billion on their balance sheets. AIG had a few billion more. How much do you think is out there ultimately across the bank balance sheet spectrum?
I think your numbers are about right in aggregate, and we know that there's certainly more than 100 billion of CLOs at banks. And the Fed has done a study that essentially said that. We also know that there are about 100 billion or so of CLOs that are unaccounted for, where we can't find them. And we're getting lots of surprises on CLOs. So JP Morgan announced that it had lost $2 billion, an unrealized loss on CLOs. Basically, nobody even noticed that had happened. And Wells Fargo recently announced that it had $7.7 billion of what are called loan form CLOs that were a surprise to many people. So these are big numbers. We're talking about, for those three banks, we're talking about significant numbers. And they're not the kind of numbers that will bring the bank down on their own, but they are numbers that should cause us concern when coupled with other kinds of losses that banks inevitably are going to have in the next quarter and beyond this year.
You lose your phone, you hit a button, it starts beeping. I don't know how $100 billion in a Wall Street product just goes missing. Maybe we need to find my CLO thing. Either way, Frank, let's move on.
So there you have it, guys. CLOs actually going missing from banks. That does not sound good, does it? In the past, the banks were allowing consumers to sign subprime mortgages. A lot of the times, consumers weren't able to qualify for them, and this created a domino effect, which is what indeed caused the collapse of the financial system back in 2008, which, incidentally, from those ashes came Bitcoin. Nevertheless, have we learned from our mistakes? Could we see another financial collapse? And I know that when you look at the S&P 500, I'm just going to bring this up right now, we had seen this collapse, actually, sorry, this is on the hour, so let me bring it to the day. We had seen this collapse at the beginning of the pandemic, And from the untrained eye, it looks as though we're recovering quite well. But realistically, is that the case? Guys, I have the Dow Jones Industrial Average here, and I've showed this on this channel before, and this was during the collapse that caused the Great Depression. What we had seen was the roaring 20s, the stock market was roaring. And then all of a sudden, a collapse. Now, we saw this initial collapse here. This is on the monthly, as I had mentioned. And we had seen a bit of a retracement. People were gaining confidence. But after that, boom, an even more significant collapse. And you guys can judge for yourself what you think of this after we had seen this collapse here. I'm just going to take some bars, bring this fractal right to where we are today. And you guys can be the judge of this. Again, I've showed this on this channel before, so this isn't new. But this is kind of what some people are saying could happen today, okay? We are seeing this recovery. We are seeing, well, I'll just put it beside it so you guys can get the idea. We had seen the stock market rise significantly since 2009. Now, just a few months ago, that initial crash because of the pandemic, buyers are getting confidence. They're gaining more confidence. Buyer sentiment is increasing. But could we continue to see a downfall like we did with the Great Depression back in the 1930s? Could this trend be similar to what we are seeing here? And this will not actually make higher highs, thus meaning that we might be in for more financial hardship than previously assumed. So despite all this, the number of Bitcoin held on exchanges reaches a one-year low. This is interesting. So Bitcoin continues to leave exchanges as Bitcoin held on exchanges reaches a new one-year low. According to Glassnode, a cryptocurrency analytics platform, exchanges currently hold over 2.6 million Bitcoin. While it's still over 25 billion in Bitcoin, the figure is down from over 2.9 million Bitcoin earlier in the year. So people taking Bitcoin off the exchanges in droves. Is this a panic? Because of a global pandemic, people are just uncertain of what's going to happen and they want to have their Bitcoin on a ledger Nano, let's say. Well, Glassnode is suggesting Bitcoin continues to leave exchanges as a massive Bitcoin options open interest expiry looms. As reported earlier by the Crypto Associate, over 1 billion worth of Bitcoin options open interest is due to expire Friday. But what about the HODL sentiment? The troves of Bitcoin leaving exchanges may not be bad news. Users may be withdrawing Bitcoin for long-term storage, as long-term cryptocurrency storage on an exchange is not recommended, as I had mentioned. If Bitcoin is indeed entering an accumulation phase as Bitcoin exchange balance declines, the cryptocurrency may be setting itself up for a potential bull run in the future, which is what we are all thinking anyway, not based on who's hodling and who has their Bitcoin on the exchange, so on and so forth. And we talked about this the other day. Furthermore, the number of Bitcoin whales determined by the number of addresses holding more than 1,000 BTC has been increasing. The rise in Bitcoin whales may further the accumulation phase sentiment. What I'm thinking is that people are being prudent. They're taking their Bitcoin off the exchange. They're keeping it on a ledger Nano or an external cold storage wallet for safe use. And I think these Bitcoin bulls are smart enough now to realize when the Bitcoin market really does run, they are going to take little bits of their Bitcoin wealth and, sell little bits at a time. There's no need to have your entire stash on the exchange because chances are one won't cash out their full stash of Bitcoin. They're going to cash out as much as they need in order to turn a profit. So that is my thought on this. I just put a fractal here to give you guys a sense of where Bitcoin could rise in the mid 200s. We've done some price prediction models on Bitcoin before. My estimate is generally within the $100,000 to $300,000 range per BTC. Come the next bull run, come that time when Bitcoin reaches new all-time highs. That will eventually bring alts up with it. And we're getting there, guys. I believe we are in the middle of it as we speak. So I saw this on Twitter, guys. This from Massimo at Max Prime XRP. Go Vechain, #vet. So this is some more Vechain news, guys. Get tested for the beer flu and get results stored on the Vechain blockchain. This allows citizens to prove their health status in order to return to work or travel abroad. Now live in Cyprus. Find out more at e-hcert.com. So here we go, running on the Vechain blockchain. Now you can get tested for the beer flu in Cyprus, it seems, and it is all going to be located on the Vechain blockchain. So Massimo did tag me in that originally tweeted from the Vechain Insider. So use cases, guys, this is what's going to give cryptocurrencies value. It's the same philosophy with XRP as it is for Vechain. The more and more these cryptocurrencies will be used, the more and more value can be derived from them. So thanks so much, Massimo, for posting that. Ian Northing here on Twitter. Fintech giant PayPal plans to roll out direct sales of cryptocurrencies to its 325 million users, according to 3 people familiar with the matter. So guys, this is huge. PayPal getting into the cryptocurrency game. Currently, as we all know, PayPal can be used as an alternative means for withdrawing funds from exchanges such as Coinbase, but this would be a first in terms of offering direct sales of crypto. My understanding is that they are going to allow buys and sells of crypto directly from PayPal and Venmo, a well-placed industry source told CoinDesk. They are going to have some sort of built-in wallet functionality so you can store it there. It is unclear which or how many cryptocurrencies would be available. The industry source said they expected PayPal would be working with multiple exchanges to source liquidity. A second source confirmed that PayPal is looking to offer buying and selling of crypto and said the service would be expected in the next 3 months, maybe sooner. So we'll definitely keep an eye out for that. PayPal obviously declined to comment on the plans. This information, I guess, kind of leaked. We've had information in the past pointing towards PayPal possibly using RippleNet technology in order to source payments. That was never confirmed, but this is an interesting step into the crypto game for PayPal specifically because they realize they're a payments company. They realize that digitization is on the doorstep. And guys, you know how much this is going to promote adoption? 325 million users already use PayPal worldwide. Now, let me put it this way. Those 325 million users are people that use fiat currency. How many of them, what is the percentage do you think that use PayPal are actually even interested in cryptocurrency to begin with? 1%, maybe 2%? Maybe that's even too high of an estimate. But now think if the world goes digital and more options are available to use cryptocurrency for payments, and not only that, you can buy cryptocurrency more easily with your PayPal account directly. You got to think. People don't want muss and fuss. They do not want to sign up for an exchange. They do not want to do the whole KYC thing. They want it to be easy, right? If you could find a way to buy your XRP by just typing in your email address, your password, click buy, you would do that if you were starting from scratch. I mean, all of us, we obviously already have accounts at exchanges, but at the beginning, when you wanted to buy crypto, remember all the hoops we had to jump through? Well, PayPal is making it easy for these 325 million users, and I really do think this could promote mass adoption in a big, big way. PayPal is already a name brand that people know and trust, so think about it for a second. It's kind of like the idea with PayID. If you make it easy for people, they will use it, and by the way, I just got my crypto name. Workingmoney.crypto is my domain name. There you guys have it. I'm here on Unstoppable Domains. I did secure my workingmoney.crypto domain. I haven't done any work on it, of course, but it will allow me to have that PayID once I set that up. And guys, if you want to get a PayID, if you want to purchase a domain from Unstoppable Domains, I do have an affiliate link in the description. You can use it if you want. You do not have to use it if you do not want to. But they'll make it really easy to set up your PayID when that time comes around. So also just wanted to mention that. Workingmoney.crypto, it's been registered. Another interesting article here from Ashko Blue, that is Ashish Birla, obviously from Ripple. Ripple's Ashko Blue reflects on the current global payments landscape and shares why financial institutions that are able to provide real-time payment methods now are well positioned as leaders beyond the current crisis. So he talks at the beginning about the beer flu and the pandemic and how this is changing the world. Also, why real-time payments actually matter. There are, of course, a lot of reasons for this that we've covered on this channel through several videos in the past. I'm going to take it up down here. The initial desire for real-time payments can be traced back to the rise of instant technology, where billions of people now have access to information and experiences on the go available in various touchpoints and channels. Already, the snowballing digitization of the world highlighted the demand and need for more efficient ways to settle payments, but during this global health crisis and its resulting economic ramifications, millions of people are facing less stable incomes and many businesses are facing dwindling profits, all while still contending with major financial responsibilities. In a pre-COVID world, fiat currencies like the US dollar, for example, would be the closest answer to instant payments. However, the exchange of this currency requires face-to-face interaction, something that is strictly limited in an ongoing fight to prevent the spread of the virus. Real-time payments via dedicated and convenient payment apps offer the immediacy and reliability of fiat currencies while empowering users with the capability to seamlessly settle payments in our increasingly digital world. And where does Ripple fit in all this, guys? In order to truly make make widespread real payments a reality, blockchain and digital asset technology needs to be leveraged as a crucial component for speeding up the settlement process. Blockchain technology allows businesses and financial institutions to transact and accept payments directly, eliminating the need for a middleman like SWIFT. So, straight up XRP also brings this point up. The marked section in Ripple's latest article hints that they do not want to improve SWIFT. They are clearly here to eliminate SWIFT. Highlighting that point that I just read, blockchain technology allows businesses and financial institutions to transact and accept payments directly, eliminating the need for the middleman SWIFT. This is no secret. Ripple wants to take them out of the game. Okay, they are an antiquated system, and there is no need for technology that is over 40 years old. Another bold statement that Ashish Birla does mention in this piece is down here. Financial institutions need to be able to provide their customers with real usable money now with no expected delivery or settlement dates attached. The ones that do will stand tall in the new world order. Using those words is powerful. A new world order, as Ashish Birla puts it, a new financial system that in part will be helmed by RippleNet technology, XRP, blockchain, DLT transactions. And the fact that we're reading this here in this blog here that Ashish Birla wrote for Ripple's website seems to be almost like a prophecy. We will read this 10 years down the road, 15 years down the road, and, it'll probably seem as if Ashish Birla knew the future, that he was able to predict what was going to come down the pipe. But the fact of the matter is, Ripple, they are not predicting the future, guys. They are building the future. They are building the future of payments. And once this gets rolled out, reading this 10 years down the road, we will be laughing because we knew it all along. There's more news here, guys. I saw this from XRP Crypto Wolf. So, guess who's joined FlashFX? That's right, guys. Dilip Rao, former Ripple executive, joins Ripple-powered FlashFX, which opened a $5 million funding round. So, Dilip Rao originally said he was going to retire from Ripple and retire in Australia, but apparently he is now joining FlashFX, which is indeed a RippleNet partner. The former Ripple executive, who worked for the blockchain giant since 2014 and resigned in December 2019, has now announced that he has joined FlashFX, a payment platform that runs on RippleNet. Working near Ripple again, change of the scene. On December 2nd last year, Dilip Rao, the former head of infrastructure innovation at Ripple, spread the word on Twitter that he was leaving Ripple to retire in Australia. However, his LinkedIn page shows that since 2020, he has been an advisor at Woomera Labs, founded by him in 2013. Mr. Rao seems busy even without that, since he has just announced he is joining Ripple-powered FlashFX payment firm as an advisor. FlashFX has just started a funding round to raise $5 million in order to continue developing and create its B2B product. So, really does bash some of that FUD that was going around with regards to Dilip Rao and why was he leaving Ripple? Was he having a bad time? What was going on? Guys, this is the space. People come and go, and it's technology, so the turnover is quite frequent. Nevertheless, great to hear Dilip Rao still wants to work close with a company that is involved with Ripple. So obviously no ill will with Dilip Rao and Ripple. Gonna continue on here, guys. This from XRP Crypto Wolf as well, this regarding R3. And so 5 interoperability ingredients, and there's a flow chart here demonstrating that, guys. I'll link the tweet in the description if you want to look at the flow chart. I'm just gonna read them here though. Integrate business systems, initiate blockchain payment rails, interchain smart contracts across protocols, interchain different deployments of the same tech, interchange apps to switch platforms. And even if this isn't discussing Ripple and XRP specifically, interoperability is what is going to get the world running with cryptocurrency and blockchain. Interoperability is that key ingredient. It's almost like a secret sauce, I'd say. We know the XRPL is a very interoperable piece of technology, and guess who else mirrors that over here? That's right, guys. David Schwartz mirrors that here. This a tweet out from Ripple from a few days ago now with regards to the PayID thing. Want to learn more about PayID? Join the virtual PayID developer conference that's happening on Thursday, June 25th. Kassam Wahid down here, though, asks, how is this different to PayPal? And David Schwartz mentions, PayPal doesn't let you accept money from or send money to people who don't want PayPal to hold their money or who PayPal isn't willing to do business with. PayID is about interoperability between providers similar to an email address. And this is why PayID is going to be so revolutionary. We are going to be sending people money no matter who their bank is, no matter who their crypto exchange is, no matter where they keep their money. So long as they have a PayID account, you can send money. Same with email. Brad Garlinghouse explains you do not have to both be on Gmail to send an email to someone. Someone could be at yahoo.com, somebody could be at gmail.com. You can still send each other emails. It's the same with PayID. You don't need to be signed up to the same system in order to accept payments anymore. And this, guys, the same thing with this PayPal idea. The fact that this is basically going to get the masses to understand payments in a different light. The exposure that it brings to the payments industry is humongous. So interoperability, another big theme here with regards to, David Schwartz mentioning it with regards to payments and this whole idea that interoperability, R3, explaining the 5 ingredients to interoperability. Very, very important and poignant for blockchain technology and cryptocurrencies to do well. I just have another tweet here with regards to PayID. This from the Cryptic Poet. He says walled gardens are PayPal, Venmo, Google Pay, Apple Pay, Stripe, and Cash App. PayID's secret sauce is on-demand liquidity. XRP will continue to be the bridge asset. So PayID actually responds to this. It's no secret. I bridge walled gardens. So, another great statement here coming from the horse's mouth themselves, PayID, saying this is going to be a game changer. And going on with the PayID theme, guys, because I know it has been a big piece of news. This is from the Real Block X on Twitter. I changed my mind about PayID. That project is huge AF. Okay, guys, which means really, really, really effing huge. At first, I thought it was just a fancy way to have an easier, rememberable crypto address, but it is much more. PayID is basically ODL for just about anything of value. It will use XRP in a major way. And so he continues by saying, let me be a little clear. The way PayID works, XRP doesn't have to be the only bridge currency, but because of its features, speed, low fees, liquidity being superior to most, if not all the other coins, it's safe to assume it will be used the most often in this system. Green Eggs and Ham, though, he's not convinced, but he's started looking into it. The Real Block X retorts that, Sam, once you do your research, you will probably come to the same conclusion. So a busy thread down here. And yeah, some people on the fence about it. Some people saying, this really isn't going to help XRP adoption, but a lot of people saying it will. Crypto adoption as a whole, but XRP as that bridge currency because it is the most efficient cryptocurrency out there. And it was created for just this purpose. But guys, that's just my opinion. I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.